Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. EZA TEQ LR Broly is here. What a way to kick off part 2. I've heard some things on socials about how strong this guy is, so I'm very much looking forward to using him. I mean, I already was, now I'm even more. 90% in the dupe system, not quite rainbowed, but still enough. We do have him at level 10 links, even has some skill orbs on it as well. Went for the full crit build, a little bit of dodge in there. And I'm very excited to try him. Look how good Movie Bosses is looking right now, by the way. Don't get me wrong, there isn't too many alternatives. But look how strong this category is now looking. And that's only going to get better as we go into part 2 with new units, new EZAs, etc, etc. We do have him next to Tech Carnival LR Broly, which is perfect. We already have him at 18 key, which is also perfect. Broly is starting with key +3. Attack and defense plus 200%. We're starting on a 668k attack stat, 290k defense. And we have every link active right now aside from Berserker, which we do need to lose HP for. So let's grab some orbs with him and see how he does. We are going to get a 24 key super attack as well. He does get an additional 120% attack and defense when performing a super attack. And another additional 131 mil. What? Don't you dare get an additional 31 million attack stat turn 1. I mean, he does get an extra 120% attack and defense on an 18 key, which, judging by how that rotation went, it's never going to be an issue to get an 18 key super attack, just because how easy it is to link him, and then how much support is already on the category anyway. But that was with only Carnival or Broly support. I say only, there's 2 of them. But considering how easy it is to link him, I don't think it's ever going to be a struggle to get him 18 key. I think it's going to have to be a very specific scenario, which would be, I don't know, your rotations are a complete mess and you need to get them in order, and also the orb placement is bad. That's the only time I ever think you're going to struggle to get him key, which is a very, very, very specific scenario. Other than that, getting his 18 key is pretty much guaranteed. Pre and post transformation. But 31 million. 31 million. He's not even transformed. But that is the beauty of Broly, is he has no build-up. I mean, sure, he does stack on 18 key, you know, gets the 50% stack on the attack, gets the 50% defense raise for 1 turn, causes mega loss damage to the enemy and massively lowers defense. But then, that's hardly ever going to change. Like, where you get him stacked to is pretty much always going to stay the same, considering his transformation isn't an active skill. As soon as that 4th turn hits, Broly's transforming. No matter where you start him, whether he's on 1st rotation, 2nd rotation, or floating. It just may take a little bit longer to get him transformed. And of course, with him floating, you'll actually stack less. But no matter what, Broly will transform on turn 4. So it's not even like that can change. And we started with a 31 million attack stat. That's absurd. He's not even transformed, and we're doing 31 million. Damn. Broly does also get 30% attack for 1 turn on 12 key, causes loss damage to the enemy and greatly lowers defense. Honestly, I can't believe that. That's insane. That is generally insane. We actually do have Super Saiyan active now as well. 762k attack stat. We do have a little bit of less defense. I mean, that considering we do have both Brolys not next to him, or both Carnival or Brolys untransformed next to him. Yeah, I'm going to give that all to him. Why not? I mean, that means these guys do miss out on the guaranteed dodge, but there's only so much I could do. Hopefully, they don't die. I mean, the super attack isn't coming their way, which is good, but I know the normals will do a ton of damage, so hopefully they don't die. Hopefully the 50% chance to dodge actually kicks in their passive. Broly also gets an additional attack plus 50% when the target enemy is in attack down or defense down status. Again, not too many places we can do that. I mean, 26.8 mil. Yes, it's less, but I mean, we don't have double support going right now. So this is a bit more of a normal rotation for him. Even on a 12 key, we're doing 19.6. This is why you want to go full crit on Tech LR Broly, because he's there to just do damage. He might not be defensively as strong as some other units, which I think may be an issue here and there, but I don't think he's going to be like a glass cannon or anything. Additional. Yes, that worked out perfectly. But he's here to do damage. So give him just full crit and let him do that. I mean, look how much damage he's doing right now. He's not even transformed yet, but 26, 28 million? That's insane. Again, Broly has no build-up. Broly just does that. That is literally just what Broly does. And again, this is pre-transformation. He just pulls out big numbers. Big number go boom. Damn, I was not expecting that. But as I was saying about the additional 50% attack he gets when enemies are in attack down or defense down status, there aren't too many places where you can debuff. However, we are seeing a bit more recently phases, even in the most difficult stages where we're testing all these units out. They may have a phase where you can debuff, or maybe you can debuff attack or defense rather than both. So you might not always consistently get that and probably not get it hardly ever. But as I said, it's becoming a little bit more frequent. You actually do get to debuff enemies nowadays. Again, it's not often, but it does come about every so often. Broly's also getting additional key +3 and launches an additional attack. There's a 50% chance of becoming a super attack when facing one enemy, which we're going to be doing pretty much 95% of the time. I mean, there might be the odd phase where you're facing 2 enemies in Red Zone or Supreme Magnificent Battle, but that doesn't really happen too much. So we are going to constantly have that key +3, which is nice because that helps us get the 18 key a bit more consistently, which again, I don't think you're hardly ever going to struggle to do unless you get really unfortunate with orb placement, which of course can happen. But most of the time, Broly does have the majority of his links active and he's chilling, at least by the looks of this as well. And he does get an additional key +5 and launches an additional super attack, which is guaranteed when facing 2 or more enemies. So if there is ever going to be a phase where you are facing 2 or more enemies in difficult content, Broly will pack himself out with key +5, which pretty much guarantees you his 18 key. And also have a guaranteed additional, which means you're guaranteeing yourself. So, I mean, he's already done major damage as it is, but you're guaranteeing yourself just that bit extra. So, pre-transformation, Broly has the potential to super attack 3 times. We've got actually quite unfortunate with his 50% additional in the passive. But as long as you have dupes or skill orbs, you can potentially super attack 3 times with Broly in 1 turn. Which, with him doing 26, 28, 30 million attack stats, and then like 19, 20 mil additionals, is generally insane the amount of damage he can do pre-transformation. And I completely forgot that I had no voice lines. So we have hit turn 4, so Broly is now transformed, and I still can't believe how much damage I saw him do. And we hadn't even transformed him yet. His active skill is always ready to go. You can literally do it straight after the transformation. Not even next attack in turn. Literally, as soon as he transforms, his active skill is ready to go, where he'll get key +24 and attack +48% for 1 turn. So I'm going to hold off just a little bit before I use it. And this is probably going to be another one of the strongest rotations in the game right now. Every single link active, aside from Saiyan Lineage and Berserker, but again, we do need to do some HP to trigger Berserker. We're on just over 1 million attack stat and we haven't even picked up an orb yet. 211k defense. Don't forget Broly does have guard now. And the only thing I'm left waiting for, and of course it's taking a little bit longer than usual because he is floating, is to get 9th anniversary Broly's domain active. Another unit that benefits from all the support constantly floating about on this team. And another unit that benefits from 9th anniversary Broly's domain. So just think about it this way. He can actually get stronger. So on 18 key, Broly's going to greatly raise attack and defense by 50% for 1 turn, cause Megacloss damage to the enemy and massively lower defense. On 12 key, going to raise attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn, cause Closs damage to the enemy and greatly lower defense as well. He's starting to turn off with key +4, attack and defense +220%. And then I want to put him here so we can actually see him do it, but his guard doesn't trigger until we do an 18 key super attack. Like, I think you actually have to perform the ultra super attack for it to kick in, rather than just you've got 18 key, you're gonna do one and it triggers. Do you know what? I'm actually going to pop a Whis. And the reason why I'm going to pop a Whis, as I said, it's for one reason only. I want to see this man's super attack. I want to see how much damage he's doing right now. I don't want to wait for it. I just don't want to wait for it. That's fine. He's never going to be in this situation. I've literally forced it just so I could see it. 41.5! 41.5 million. Also, can we just appreciate how good his animations look? This man came out in 2019 and his animations are still really, really good. Like, I actually really like this Broly's animations, but 41.5 million. That's with no support. No domain, no Broly Chila and Lemon support, no Team Turles support, no Kid Buu support. What? Definitely grabbing those. I don't believe that. 41.5 million just like that after he transforms. No additional, no nothing, just 41.5 million. Wow. Wow. We haven't even used his active skill yet. We don't even have a domain active yet either. He then gains an additional attack and defense plus 120% and launches an additional attack. There's a 50% chance of becoming a super attack when performing a super attack. So that's pretty much just guaranteed for you. Whenever you just super attack with Broly, immediately has an additional, which has that 50% chance to become a super. He also has a chance of forming a critical hit plus 6% for extreme class allies for 2 turns, plus an additional attack plus 166% and guards all attacks when performing an ultra super attack, which again, as you saw, you're pretty much always guaranteed to hit an 18 key with Broly, considering how easy it is to link him. Again, I think the only time you may struggle to do that, which after transforming I don't think will actually be an issue, is if orb placement is really that bad for you, and you would have to have Broly on a mess of a rotation. But by the time you transform him, you're going to have your rotations in order anyway. So that guard is pretty much guaranteed. And he's always going to be in slot 2. So he's always going to be super attacking, then getting his guard no matter what. Because Broly's always going to be in slot 2. I mean, maybe slot 3, but he's always going to be in slot 2 and slot 3. So you never have to worry about him being hit without the guard. He then gets an additional attack plus 100% when the target enemy is in attack down or defense down status. And he then gains an additional key plus 4 and launches an additional attack. There's a 70% chance of becoming a super attack when facing one enemy, which we're going to be doing again 95% of the time in the game. So you're pretty much always going to be getting that, which is good. And he then gets an additional key plus 6 on, which is an additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies, which again, there isn't really too many difficult events in the game where you are going to be facing 2 enemies, so you will probably miss out on that guaranteed additional a decent amount of time. I don't want to say all the time, but a decent amount of time, and that key plus 6. But that does mean Broly has the potential to super attack, what? 4 times in 1 turn? The base, the first additional, the second additional, and the dupe system. Now, we saw him do 41.5. Combine all of those together, you're talking probably in the realms of like, what? A 40 million attack stat with a 30 million attack stat, maybe a 20 million attack stat. 2 more times after that. The amount of damage Broly's going to be able to do in 1 turn is generally insane. So there we have it. EZA TEQ LR Broly. I generally believe he's probably the strongest unit in the game right now. Just purely offensively, he is the hardest hitting unit in the game right now. No build up, no nothing. Just does that. Big number, go boom. Insane. Another unit that benefits from Carnival LR Broly is a slot 1 unit. Great linking partner again to him and the 9th anniversary Broly. Even the EZA Int one if you want to include him. Another unit that benefits from all the support that just constantly fluctuates throughout that team. And another unit that also benefits from 9th anniversary Broly's domain. And movie bosses are looking very, very good right now. And it's only going to get better. I know we didn't see him with his active skill active. It's fine. We're going to be using Broly in all the difficult content, trying him out, so we're bound to see it eventually. And all it is just bigger number, go boom. Bigger number, go boom. And also, we didn't get to see him under 9th anniversary Broly's domain, but again, that's fine. That's something that is guaranteed to happen while using him in the difficult content. So I'm happy with waiting to see that, because seeing him do a 41.5 million attack stat was generally absurd. But let me know your thoughts of him down in the comments. I can't wait to try him out in harder content. He seems like a lot of fun to use. But I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great rest of your day, and post.